6 people were sent to prison today for a major fraud. Their crimes, thought to have cost up to £1 billion, destroyed many small businesses run by customers of Halifax Bank of Scotland, now owned by Lloyds Banking Group. The fraud was facilitated by 2 employees of the bank, which for years has refused to acknowledge responsibility for what happened or offer to compensate the victims. Our economics correspondent Andy Verity has uncovered evidence that suggests the bank also misled the police.
4 greedy and devious consultants who bribed 2 dishonest hbos bankers. In exchange, the bank forced small business customers to pay for the consultants, who plundered the businesses to buy holidays, foreign property and yachts.
This has been the longest and most complex case in Thames Valley Police history. Lyndon Scourfield, who worked at the Halifax Bank of Scotland's office in Reading, struggling small companies would approach him for advice to turn their businesses around. Instead of offering help that he should have done, he lent them more and more of the bank's money. He also referred them to his consultancy friends, David Mills et al., who charged him extortionate fees and stripped them of their assets.
This family of Oxfordshire farmers had a brush with the fraudsters that put them on a path to ruin that they estimate cost them £70 million. But worse than the money was the mental torture of fighting off a powerful bank.
I hope that the bank do the right thing and compensate all the victims, because I think the victims have lived hell on earth for the last 12 years. I know me and my family have.
Former Tory MP Sir James Pace says Lloyds Banking Group, which now owns hbos, told him there'd been no wrongdoing.
The bank said that they had carried out their own internal investigation and they found, and this is correct, they found no evidence that Mr. Scourfield had benefited from his association. That is a pretty definitive statement that was clearly and utterly wrong. So either their internal investigation was a shambles and failed, or they were lying.
I've uncovered evidence that the bank misled the police. Thames Valley Police got in touch with the bank in March 2008 to ask if accounts managed by Lyndon Scourfield were under any sort of formal investigation. It took 5 weeks for the bank to come back and say, "I cannot offer any information that would support or substantiate any allegations of wrongdoing." But we found out that by that point, they'd done at least 3 internal reports into Scourfield's lending. Lloyds told us it couldn't interpret statements made nearly a decade ago because it couldn't know the context. But today, the victims were still waiting for the bank to acknowledge responsibility for its former employees' actions. Andy Verity, BBC News, Southwark Crown Court.